What's up, everyone? This is your boy City Surfer, and boy do I have a good one for you today. Today we're going to take a dive into the WowGo 3X belt-driven electric skateboard. Yes, belt drive. We're going to talk about the pros, the cons, what to expect, and is this thing group ride approved? Okay, so right out of the box, you can tell the build quality is pristine when you compare it to other budget boards. It has a bamboo fiberglass deposit, which makes for a super flexy and comfortable ride. Literally, it's like jumping on a trampoline. Jumping on a trampoline. Now let's talk about the hardware. The front truck are brand name Paris trucks. The back truck is an OEM custom truck designed to work with pulley systems. Now the bushings, they're not Paris, but they are barrel bushings, which I recommend anyway. And bushings are an important thing when it comes to your ride feel, right? It's going to basically determine the feel of your ride when it comes to your carving. Keep that in mind with your bushings. But barrel bushings are ideal for basically like a universal skate style. So they really, I think they picked a good bushing. The bearings are Zealous bearings, which are perfect in my opinion. So it comes with a nose and tail guard, which is cool. They're basically like an extended riser. They go underneath your truck, right? It'll help from keeping your deck from wearing. So it keeps off the wear and tear on the board, which is good if you like to rest your board up a lot against the wall. Eventually that tail end or the nose end, depending on how you're standing it, it's going to start wearing away and potentially chipping away. The wheels, let's talk the wheels, because this is another big factor when it comes to riding longboards in general and electric skateboards. This is the big thing, is wheels. The bigger, I would say, the better. The smaller, the more stress it's gonna give you, the more worry, because there's a good chance that when you come across like a bump or a crack in the road, those wheels just aren't gonna roll over it like a 90 millimeter. And that's what WowGo offers. So 90 millimeter by 62 millimeter, 78A, which that is the durometer of your wheel. It determines how soft or how hard the wheel is. And 78A is like right in between, and I would definitely say that's nice and gummy and grabs the road, grips the road very well. Also, to touch on the wheels, they have an ABEC core, okay? And now, the importance of that is this. The ABEC core, it allows you to swap out to any other wheels as long as they have the ABEC cores. But that's one con that I would say WowGo has, and it's their pulley system. So it would be awesome if they had a selection of different style pulley systems, but they don't. It's only compatible with ABEC core wheels, and that's unfortunate. There's so many wheel options out there that have ABEC cores, so it's not really a deal breaker. It has dual motors, a 50 by 55 pulley motor, 180 kV, 600 watts each. It's a great happy medium in my opinion, and honestly, for the budget, you can't complain. The torque is very noticeable to me right off the rip when comparing it to a hub motor board, which is where I started riding, right? So my WowGo 3, which is hub motor, the WowGo 3, I actually have over 3,000 miles on it. I think it's clocked in around 3,300. It's crazy. So the longevity of the boards are ridiculous. The belt drive, it's the torque it provides. It's great for those steep hills, and it gives you the acceleration that you're expecting when you go to hit the remote. That's what separates a belt drive board from a hub motor. Okay, let's talk the battery, because the battery is pretty beast. And now here's the specs on the battery. It's a 259 watt hour Samsung 30Q 12S2P arrangement. When you compare it to a lot of the other budget boards on the market, this is right up to par. let's talk about the range to expect from this board. This is one thing to really keep in mind. If you've never ridden an electric skateboard, you're looking to get into this, understand that the range you get out of the board determines really on your riding style. It's basically going to depend on the weight of the rider, the speed, and the terrain. So if you're on a bike trail, and this is for example, and it's mostly flat ground, you're gonna maximize the amount of range that you get out of your battery. I actually did an in-depth range test using 2 different riding styles. We did one riding very aggressive and then one riding conservative. Okay, so with the conservative range test, we got about 16 miles on one given charge. With the aggressive range test, we got roughly 11 to 13 miles. The battery is swappable, but I wouldn't recommend it on a group ride. Like, it's not swappable like that. It's a 15-minute swap, right? But you're gonna need tools, and it's not like a button switch out and swap. You're gonna need to just switch out some components. That's another con that I would say WowGo can work on in the future on their boards, is maybe some swappable batteries. So I would consider swapping the battery out if it needs replacing, and it can be replaced easy. I have swapped a battery out before on a previous WowGo board. So the brains of the operation, let's talk about the ESC. It's designed by Hobbywing, which is preferred by most e-boarders. The more you ride and the more boards you try, you'll understand what that even means. It's basically the brains of the operation, right? That's gonna determine the response time to your remote and all of that goodness. And that's very important to me in the kind of style I have. I'm a downhill rider and I like speed. I like to be able to trust the board that I'm on, especially at the speeds I ride. It's very accurate and predictable, and that's a game changer for me. The remote has a control wheel, forward to move, okay? Pull back to brake. It has a multi-purpose button which allows you to switch gears and power on the board and even put the board in reverse. At first, I didn't like the one button. I thought it was confusing and you had to start remembering sequences and button patterns, but it's not that bad. It's pretty basic. It has an LED display, which I really like. And it shows you how fast you're going, the current trip mileage, and the total miles on the board, which is super cool. All right, let's talk about the brakes. The brakes are very responsive, and they're super smooth. This all ties back into the ESC from Hobbywing. When it comes to safety, I definitely put my trust in the build of these boards. I have tried other budget boards, and this definitely takes the cake for me. So, like, for me and my style, and being very aggressive, I like downhill, I love speed. I can really come in on those hairpin turns with ease of mind, knowing that the precision it provides. So I'm very, very happy with that. The board has 4 speed modes: 1, 2, 3, and turbo mode. Unlike most electric skateboards, the turbo feature doesn't drain out on the WowGo, giving you the option to stay up to speed. I know that there's other budget boards out there on the market that the turbo mode dies out. It literally only lets you use the turbo mode for a brief time, but you can ride turbo mode the whole way. And what turbo mode really offers you is just more torque. So if you're really gonna be hitting those hills, pop it into turbo mode. All right, the top speed of the WowGo 3X is 39 kilometers per hour, which is equivalent to 24 miles per hour, which is pretty fast for a skateboard. So basically the days of finding hills to bomb are over. It feels like you're constantly bombing a hill, which is amazing. This board can keep up with some of the gangster riders out there, like Tom Poggett, my boy Fred over from Eastgate Unity, Sam Sheffer, Sam Savage, okay? Rich. I'm sorry if I forgot a few names. Kevin, Jeffrey, Ethan. We got Angel. We got John Angel. So basically, yeah, is this group ride approved? Absolutely. Absolutely group ride approved. Actually, stay tuned because I'm gonna be testing out this specific board in an upcoming group ride in New York. That's gonna be epic. So altogether, what are my thoughts on the WowGo 3X and just WowGo in general? Honestly, all positive ones. And let me tell you why. You really can't beat the price for the quality and the build of the board. In my opinion, WowGo, they nailed it. As when it comes to the shipping time, and if I need parts, extra wheels, I don't have to wait 3 weeks for it to come from China if it's at their warehouse. And this board, in particular, the 3X, came in 7 days. So I really can't complain about that. I live just outside of Boston, Massachusetts, and the board came from California. That's where their US warehouse is based out of. I really do appreciate them as a company, and I'm glad that I stuck it out with them. Also, in the description below, there's a discount link for a percentage off on your WowGo 3X. Don't forget to check it out. So that's gonna do it for this one, guys and girls. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that like button if you found any value from this video at all. And maybe consider subscribing if you're into stuff like this, because I am too, just saying.
Not like a niche.
And until next time, City Surfers.